Howdy, brothers.
Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey and Water.
It's too Monday for that. For me.
It's not too Monday. I have an iced coffee down the hatch. You got a Celsius.
I'm only 3 sips into this. I'm going to need to chug some to get on your level.
I'm your co-host, Liv.
And I am your co-host, Jess.
And we're back at it again, brothers.
Okay.
I'm just trying to switch it up. I'm getting really bored of the same intro every week. Come on, we gotta spice it up.
Let's add some music, all right?
We already have.
Let's switch up the music.
No, I love that song.
They don't want to hear us going, and they're fucking ears.
Yes, you do, brothers.
Okay, guys, today.
What are we doing?
We are going to be talking a little bit of a side hustle school.
Yes. Today we're okay, yeah. Good talk. Today, we're talking about multiple income streams, having multiple income streams, where to start with having multiple income streams. But really, all it is side hustles. That's just a fancy word for side hustles.
Until it's not. And that's the idea.
Yeah.
Don't want to have all your eggs in one basket.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to get into it. I feel like this is a good topic because you hear a lot about having multiple streams of income.
Passive revenue stream.
Passive income. But, you know.
We're going to unbro this for you guys.
Yes, we're going to, not mansplain it or mansplain it.
We're going to women's plain it.
Period. Whiskey and water. Women empowerment.
Women's plating.
But I feel like people kind of maybe are intimidated of the whole having multiple streams of income and maybe think it's either or. They think it's either you have a full-time 9 to 5 or you do this thing where you have multiple streams, but you can do both. I mean, we're going to talk about hustle culture and how we don't believe in that. But if that's your vibe and you have energy to do that,
and
it's a thing and people do it.
And just you have the means to do that, because obviously we're going to talk about how it is glorified to have these multiple streams of income, but it's also a privilege to be able to have the time to manage them, the capital to start them, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, it can be a gateway out of doing something you're either unhappy with, takes too much of your time. If you want to be doing something else, that's kind of your option where you get that fork in the road where it's you can go for it or, keep doing something that maybe you're not happy with, or if you're just bored, people change career paths. My mom got her master's degree when she was 50 and had a completely different career path. So I just don't want any of you guys to feel like you're ever stuck necessarily.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want to do. If you're not happy with something, you can go ahead and try to use your resources to change it.
Exactly. And we also feel like a lot of this, this concept of having multiple revenue streams is essentially a mindset.
It is such a mindset thing.
It's a mindset thing. What's the fucking word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Shift. You have to kind of view things a little bit differently in order to put yourself in a space to have, multiple streams of revenue that are aligned with you and that work well with you. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. But before we get into everything, let's do our high and low and our deep dive.
Yes. So you can start with your low and then I'll go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about lows because perfect.
My low is fucking taxes, guys.
True.
We had a meeting with Robert last week, who is our accountant. And essentially I am trying to prove as much income as I can, because as an independent contractor, you don't pay taxes on anything until, the end of the year. No one's withholding taxes for us. So
and basically, I'm trying to take my shirt off. And basically, instead of getting for a lot of people, taxes is we're getting our taxes back.
And nice tax return.
Yeah, it's a fun celebratory thing. And for independent contractors, it's we get fucked. We have to pay a lot back. We're not getting anything. We're paying the government.
Yeah, and because I don't want to write anything off necessarily, because I'm trying to prove as much income as I can, because I want to eventually buy property. Everyone's oh, why don't you just write off your clothes, write off your gas, write off, and it's yeah, ideally I would, but I can't, because I need to prove that I make money to the government. It's all a fucking scam. But yeah, essentially I'm paying around $10,000 in taxes. because that is what I can afford.
But that means that you made enough money to pay $10,000 in taxes.
Oh,
period. Queen. No, but really, like, as much as that's like definitely a hard pill to swallow, and it's $10,000 that you could do so much other stuff with, it's just
gotta bite the bullet.
A part of life.
Yeah, and honestly, it is such an incredible privilege to have made that much money, to be paying that much in taxes, and like I am incredibly grateful for that. But fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and do you want to talk about your high?
Oh yeah, I was in Dallas this past weekend, which was so much fun.
Dick down in Dallas. You know that song?
No.
No, it's a good song. It's a country song.
No one was dicked down in Dallas, unfortunately. But it was so much fun. And I don't know, Dallas was just way cooler than I thought it was going to be. And like I went to like an arcade bar and was like fucking it up and skee ball, danced all night. It was a great time. And
so fun.
Stayed at the Virgin Hotel, which was, dude, Virgin hotels are elite.
I haven't stayed at one.
Dude, they are fire. Like they're just like done so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love them. So I always love staying at a Virgin.
I feel like you've just been all over the place, like not catching feelings, just catching flights. And I love that for you.
Period.
Okay. My low for this week is just kind of like, it's not necessarily my no, but it's low.
My no.
My no. It's not necessarily my low, but it's like an associated low because it's like someone in my close circle. But basically my mom is going through just like a rough patch right now. She's trying to figure out her way. She's having like a 3/4 life crisis. And you know, it's just like, it sucks like seeing someone you love so much struggle. So that's like, obviously, you know, that's my low too. I share that low with her. And, you know, I'm just helping her kind of get through it. She's basically just getting an apartment by herself and this is going to be the first time she lives by herself for the first time since she was like 26 before she had my sister. So, you know, it's definitely like a new season, new chapter of her life. And I'm just trying to be there for her as much as I can. But it also sucks. Like in a way, it motivates me so much because I'm so excited for that day to come where I can put my mom up in an apartment.
Yeah.
And be like, no, like, you can't say no. You can't refuse this. Here is your apartment. You're going to live here and be happy. And that's that. And like, I'm going to take care of that for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, as hard as it is to watch her go through this period and kind of like, you know, struggle with how she's going to be able to afford it on her own and that she's going to have to work more, it's really pushing me even harder to make so much more money so that I can like take care of my parents when they need it.
And like comfortably as well for us, you know?
Yeah. Like it wouldn't be like, you know, me sacrificing things. It's just like, no, I got it like that. And I'm going to take care of you. And, you know, the way that they've taken care of us for so long. So
for sure.
I'm looking forward to that day, but it is hard to watch her, you know, go through that rough patch. But my high is that I booked Disney Springs commercial again. Yeehaw. Woohoo. Going to Orlando tomorrow. Have the fitting tomorrow. I have an off day Wednesday, which is fun because they're putting me in a Disney resort. So I'm like, oh, Disney for a day, except not really. I'm probably just going to stay in the hotel room and work. And then we do an overnight shoot on Thursday. So I'm really excited. I have no idea what I'm shooting this time because I didn't get any information really about it. I just know that they are doing like an extension of the last one in August. So I don't know if I'm like wearing the same stuff or what. So we'll see tomorrow at the fitting, but I'm excited.
Super excited for you. And it's going to be, I'm just so excited. So she's doing this overnight on Thursday. And then on Friday, we go to the Keys.
I'm telling you, we are just jet setters these days.
Yeah, true. I don't have a weekend at home in May.
Period.
Because I have the Keys this weekend, and then next weekend, well, we go to Costa Rica like Sunday morning. So I do get like Saturday. But
dude, yeah.
Like,
yeah, Costa Rica, and then I go to freaking Palm Coast for Memorial Day weekend. So and I'm trying to plan a housewarming party for next month. It's just lots happening. It's gonna be a busy month.
Yeah, for sure. But super excited. And then
good stuff.
When she leaves tomorrow, we have a shoot for
one of our mood clients.
We have a shoot for a mood client. We're shooting a baby.
A baby.
It's first time shooting a baby. Well, I mean, I've like shot like my like family like events and like I shoot the babies there.
But like first time having a client that's like needs a baby model.
I'm shit. I don't know why, but I'm so stoked. I feel like it's gonna give me fucking You know what?
Oh
it's
my
the
God.
eggs, guys.
It's the eggs.
That's why I'm so excited to shoot this baby.
If you were here
Also,
last week.
If you guys didn't wish me a happy Mother's Day, you're fucking fake.
If you know, you know. Okay, yeah. And I'm sad that I won't be able to be there for that, but I'm so confident in you and Tay. You're gonna absolutely kill it. I can't wait to see how it comes out.
Wow, can't believe I'm a mom.
Yeah.
It's a nugget.
Moving on, let's get into our deep dive, which is a segment every episode where we share a campaign or a partnership with you guys, and we tell you how we got our deal, what the deliverables are, and what the rate is, because
we believe in rate transparency.
I feel like we need to do like one of these.
Gross.
With that.
Yeah. Like a little rainbow comes up above our heads.
Okay, let's get into it. What is your deep dive for this week?
My deep dive is a client that I've had for fucking years.
Like 5 years maybe now, 4 or 5.
And I remember that our friend, like we had a friend that was shooting for them all the time. And I mean, back then it was like a sweet deal. She got paid like $300 for like just shooting content. That's what it was, for like shooting like 3 outfits. And I really loved the clothing too. So I remember I was like trying to like get in contact. She low-key did not want to give us the contact.
I have been trying to reach out to them for years too, and I don't think I've ever heard back.
She never gave us a direct contact. She was kind of like, oh, I just DM'd them.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah, and whatever. So I finally I think I was like, tell him that I DM'd him. Tell him to open his request. Request.
I almost freaking choked on my iced coffee.
Tell him to open his request. I want to work with him. So that was years and years ago. Essentially I did end up stealing that client. No, I'm kidding. She like stopped shooting and whatever. So I've been like, honestly, I think one of their main content creators for years. And what they do is they just send me a fuck ton of clothes and I shoot like, so we're doing it like really sporadically the last few years. And then recently he hit me up and he's like, hey, if we can get on like a monthly thing, you know, let's run it. And this was like, maybe like 7 months ago that we started doing this. So it's 15 like basically t-shirts. Sometimes there's pants.
They're graphic tees. They're like so easy to shoot.
Yeah. And like I wear the graphic tees all the fucking time. It's like my Pearl Jam shirts. It's like my Kiss shirts.
Like
whatever.
Old band graphic tees.
Yeah, vintage tees. So it's 15 tees a month. And originally he was paying me $1,000, which I ended up taking, which is a way lower rate than I would take for anyone else. Like if anyone else hit me up and was like, yeah, we need you to shoot 15 fucking tees.
You'd be like, fuck off.
I'd be like, fuck off. But I know him and
it's so easy to shoot. Like I shoot it. Like we just knock it out in like 5 minutes.
And he's like he's not picky at all.
He doesn't ask for reshoots.
Yeah, never. And
easy client.
Super easy client. I'm typically able to knock out everything within like probably like 30 to 40 minutes collectively. I usually, it's broken up into like 2 different, like he sends half and half. So, you know, I probably spend maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes on each, you know, shoot. We just like end up choosing different walls, whatever. But recently I was like, fuck, this is getting a lot. Like it's so much clothes. It's like hard to keep track of like shooting everything and whatever. It was just becoming a lot. And I realized that I wasn't prioritizing it because you know, like the pay just wasn't enough for me to do it. I was like, okay, I'll just do this kind of when it's convenient. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, I like sent him like my most recent photos. And I was like, yeah, transparently, I don't know if I can like keep going at this rate because it's just, you know, it's getting to be a lot. So
she renegotiated.
I renegotiated, told him like what I'm typically charging clients for packages like this, which is upwards of $3,000 to $4,000. And so we ended up, he was like, okay, what if I, you know, lower the amount of clothes and give you a pay increase, which works out for me. So we renegotiated to like $1,300 for 10 t-shirts instead. So I'll probably keep it at that rate for the next couple months and then try to renegotiate again. But again, it's, you know, I really enjoy working with him and it's, you know, stuff that I wear and enjoy and it's easy. So
yeah, it's easy to incorporate into like days where we're already shooting other stuff. Yeah. So it makes sense for her to take it for that low rate. Like it's not like she's dedicating a whole shoot day, thinking of some creative, fun concept. She's not doing any copywriting and it's a monthly thing. So like obviously when it's consistent, that's when we'll consider accepting lower rates.
Exactly. And again, if anyone else hit me up, like a new client, I would really not take it at this rate, which just goes to show like once you build a relationship with someone and like you have a good working relationship, like it's so much more beneficial than, you know, like starting off from ground zero with someone you've never worked with.
Yeah.
Especially because if I had never worked with them before, I'd be like, I would resent doing this work so much. I'd be like, fuck this. I'm getting way underpaid.
But because he's been paying you for years, it's like you have that respect for each other, and you know, he appreciates you and you appreciate him.
For sure.
Okay, so for my deep dive, this is again through my manager, Michael. Shout out Michael. He's killing it lately for us. So that is how I got it, is through him. The deliverables, well, the client is a yoga studio that is opening up in Miami. The deliverables is 1 in-feed post, and the rate is $2,000.
Hell yeah, brother.
Period.
Don't you need to like go take a class though?
Yeah, I do have to go take a class. I don't mind though, because it's like a power yoga, which I don't mind taking anyways. I do have to like probably go to the location in Miami, but the rate is high enough where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm being well compensated, and I don't resent having to drive an hour to Miami.
At least it's not like a berries class.
Oh yeah, the way I would like not even take that class.
She'd be like, yeah, I'd not
like, no,
going.
that is not aligned with my brand.
Yeah.
I hate cardio. But yeah, so it'll be good. It is very aligned with me. Oh, and also, you guys know, if you've been listening to the past few episodes, I recently doubled my following. So I did update my media kit last week. And yeah, I increased my rates for an in-feed post. I was at 1,000 and I increased it to 1,500.
Oh yeah, brother.
So, and then I also included a page in there that was about like virality. So I said like opportunity for virality. And I included my growth in the last 2 months, which is a 60-day period. And I showed examples on TikTok and on my Instagram reels that blew up. So we'll see. Hopefully that garners some good partnerships within the next few months.
Yeah, I know. Every time she had one of these reels going viral, I'm like, put that in your fucking media kit. Show them exactly like what they were for. And they were both ads.
Yeah, they were both ads. And also when the second one started to happen, I was like, okay, this isn't just luck, you know, like, and I can't wait for a third one to happen. So I can be like, okay, I have a strategy,
proven product.
I have a strategy. It's working. And now I can like kind of offer this as truly an opportunity for brands to want to partner.
Yeah. Love that.
So yeah, before we get into our episode, we're going to take a second and thank our show sponsor.
All right, guys, this week's sponsor is Banish. Banish is a skincare line launched to help people with acne and acne scars. It's made in small batches with fresh organic ingredients. Whether you need a new serum, face mask, or moisturizer that's suitable for your skin type, Banish has you covered. You guys know that I have been struggling with acne for the past few weeks, and I just started using Banish. So I'm super excited to share my results with you guys organically and honestly, as we always do, and let you guys know how it works for us. What I really like about Banish is that it's great for getting rid of acne scars, fine lines, wrinkles, hyperpigmentation. Honestly, aside from fine lines and wrinkles, like that's what I'm struggling with most, is just like the acne and the acne scars and like the dark marks, because although my skin is improving a little bit, I'm still having like the bumps and the scars just from the pimples. So I'm really excited to see how this works for us. They are a company based out of Pasadena, California, and every product is made fresh to order the same day that it ships out. All the products are vegan, organic, and cruelty-free. Definitely check it out, guys. They also have a skincare quiz on their site where you can, put in your issues and it'll recommend the products that'll be best for you. So we'll keep you guys posted on our progress. I'm super excited to be sharing it with you guys.
So like we were saying in the intro, a lot of times I think mindset comes before like you have to be able to change your mindset about having multiple income streams before you can have those multiple income streams. And so many people fail to realize that like so much of it is a mindset thing. Like even when I'm talking to, my mom about it or my sister about it, or like anyone in my close circle, it's always like it's not like the actual action of making it happen and getting that other income stream. It's the mindset of feeling like they can't,
it's a self-limiting belief.
It's a self-limiting belief, believing that like they either can't do it, can't figure it out, maybe aren't deserving of like, that's a whole other conversation, but like aren't deserving of
financial freedom
or not like they're not like that type of person, like people box themselves in and they're like, they see people with multiple income streams and they're like, oh, well, that's like for them. That's not for me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the thing is, like, no one got to where they are. I mean, obviously there's some people that got the silver spoon treatment.
Trust fund money.
Yeah. And although how I wish we were one of those, we are not. And no one gets to where they are without most likely having multiple streams of income. Like you look at any major entrepreneur, they have so many streams of income that you don't even know. Like all these celebrities, like, you know, like let's take, I don't know why Johnny Depp comes to mind.
What?
I wish he wasn't him. But like, let's say, you know, any major actor, anyone who like, or an athlete, right?
They all start their own brands.
They all start their own brands, or they're fucking invested into multiple brands. Like even when I was in Dallas this past weekend, I was with this energy drink brand called A-Shock, who I actually went to that festival with. I don't know if you guys remember that, but my friend Ben was telling me how LL Cool J just like invested in their company, and I was like,
that's so
random. Like,
it is so random.
Fucking LL Cool J. But you know, like they're all making these investments, and they're going to pay off in the long run. You know, like who has like who is it? P Diddy owns Ciroc.
Yeah, Ciroc. Yeah,
you know, like all these things, and like we don't realize how much of like an insane like part of their income these things are.
Yeah, coming from that.
And even, you know, these people who are climbing the corporate ladders, like once they get up to a certain amount, like they're putting that money in different revenue streams. That is
whether it's the stock market or real estate. Like,
yeah,
I think just
diversifying your financial portfolio is what's important here. And of course, we're going to talk about that on a more realistic scale for, you know, either if you are, you know, independent contractors / entrepreneurs like us, or even if you are in the 9-to-5 space, you know, like there is opportunity for everyone if financial freedom is something that you desire and feel like you're worthy of.
Yeah, there's definitely a sweet spot, and that's kind of up to you to determine for yourself. But I think regardless, it's great to not have all your eggs in one basket. Like even looking as a content creator and influencer, right? Like I think for a few years I was scared because I felt like I was putting all my eggs in the Instagram basket. And
like, God forbid we lost our Instagram account a couple of years ago. God forbid we lost our Instagram accounts. I would have been I would have had to get like, you know, I wouldn't have been super fucked. I would have been able to
you would have had to change your lifestyle.
Change my lifestyle and, you know, just get a 9-to-5, not like a normal job, but, you know, like get a more traditional job.
Yeah, a serving job, or you would have had to figure it out.
Yeah.
The point being is that, you know, it's always a good idea to not have all your eggs in one basket and try to just venture out into other things, even if having a 9-to-5 is what you do currently, a full-time job, whatever it is. This is good advice for everyone. So that's kind of the first, and we wanted to touch on mindset before talking about like the actual maybe ways that someone can start with the multiple streams of income.
Yeah, and I feel like it's important to note that like there really is no easy way to make money. Like all of these things are going to require an investment on your behalf, whether that is time, whether it is capital and money, or whether it is energy. Like,
yeah, there's no such thing as quick, easy money. And if you see that, and if you see someone selling a course for how to make quick, easy money, it's probably a scam.
Or if you get the, hey, boss babe DM, and they're telling you how you can, you know, make X amount of money in 1 month. And of course, you know, some of those opportunities work for some people. It's not what we're not going to be getting into anything MLM-y today, of course, but you know, I think it is important to just note that like there is really no easy way without some sort of investment on your behalf. So that's like kind of like the first thing to note. Like if you are
if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
Yeah, and it kind of just to piggyback off of like the mental switch, and you know, like you are going to have to make some sort of sacrifice. So just be prepared to do that, whatever it may be.
And it doesn't have to be monetarily. Like it's not like you have to have a $5,000 investment to start this business of yours. It could just be time and energy. Like the podcast was a big investment, actually money too, but it was a big investment of our time and energy up front. And then hopefully one day it's going to pay off in the end. But nothing is really like nothing worth having comes easy. And if you want to build out something, you want to do it in a sustainable way. So it doesn't lead to burnout. 2, it's not like a quick cash thing and then doesn't really lead to anything.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
And I also want to touch on while we're here, I feel there are a lot of courses online and people and gurus and mentors who are kind of selling this idea of having these multiple income streams. And I just want you guys to be careful because not that they're malicious or that their intentions are bad, but they are trying to profit.
That's their fucking income stream.
And that this concept has always confused the fuck out of me because I feel like it's inception of like looking in an infinity mirror and not knowing like, how are you selling a course teaching people how to sell a course? It just confuses me, but that's a whole other conversation. My point being is, people know that others that are in a position where they're looking for multiple or financial freedom, like you're in a vulnerable spot, and there are people who do try to take advantage of that. So just be careful out there. If, like I said, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Mm-hmm. And there's also courses, kind of piggybacking off of that. There are courses that are beneficial, and 100%. That like can, definitely change.
That are worth investing
in, and really open up opportunities for you. Like we have on Mila Holmes. We had her on a few seasons ago, and she sells a course about how to be a social media manager. And I'm not entirely sure what that course is priced at, but that's one of those things where it's like it's a great place to learn. And being a social media manager doesn't require any necessarily like upfront capital. Like, yes, you will need a phone and certain resources, but I feel like you can do it really conservatively. And so like we're just going to talk about like the different opportunities. We're going to talk about the things that we have dipped our toes into and things of that nature.
And I was kind of in that spot for a little bit where I was one of those people who had the normal job. I was not that I was an employee, because I think I was still working as an independent contractor, but I was going Monday, Wednesday, Friday to a jewelry store as their social media person, whatever, online sales. I was doing that part-time while also doing Instagram. So I had the multiple income stream, one being a normal quote unquote job, and then the other one working for myself. Mm-hmm. And it kind of got to a point where, things kept coming up, and I ended up just not being able to go on castings and having to turn down photo shoots and having to turn down partnerships because I didn't have time to shoot content. So that's when it got to a point where I kind of took that leap of faith, but I was scared for a long time to like not have a normal job. I'm like,
I was like, quit.
Literally, because she had taken that leap of faith like 6 months before I did, maybe. And I was
like, it's great over here.
It's very whiskey and water of us. I was like, still, probably didn't need to do it, but I was scared, because that's a scary place to be. And you are definitely taking a leap of faith, and you have to trust yourself that you're going to like hustle and you're going to figure it the fuck out.
Dude, and like, don't get me wrong, consistent income is chef's fucking kiss.
So nice.
It's so nice.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's definitely one of the things that I miss from, that sort of lifestyle. Like getting a check every 2 weeks and like knowing exactly how much you're going to have and knowing exactly how much you're putting towards savings and how much you're going to spend. Like having that like structure.
That's a luxury in and of itself.
It really is, because I mean, as lucrative as, our lifestyles can be currently and our careers can be, it's definitely just more chaotic, financially. Like shit is all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But I also, at the same time, as nice as that sustainability is and consistency is, it also kind of, I think, gives people an opportunity to get comfortable. Versus,
100%.
Being in the spot we're in, it's like, if we don't make the opportunities for ourselves, we're not bringing in money. So it's like we don't have a choice. Like we have to hustle. We got to put food on the table.
Got to keep our head down and grind.
But actually, so like in a way, like that's nice because it's like your success is up to you. But it's also scary knowing that your success is up to you.
For sure. I mean, and don't get us wrong, we wouldn't change it for the world. Like that's why we're here. That's why we're, going to tell you guys about these different revenue streams. But, there is something to be said if you are someone who just values that stability a little bit more.
Totally.
Like this isn't,
for everyone.
This isn't to bully you into thinking that you're not doing enough in your 9 to 5 or that, like you don't have to be doing this. We're just kind of opening the door for anyone to kind of
consider it
and essentially listen to those whispers that you're getting. Like if you are someone that thinks that you are a little bit more on the entrepreneurial side and you find yourself, in a stagnant position in your 9 to 5, like this episode is for you. And if you guys have been here for a while, which you have because we have no new listeners, you guys are, all of you have been here from the start. We have always talked about like this idea of like whispers and listening to your whispers, which is like, like you might be fucking.
It's kind of intuition.
Yeah, it is. It's intuition. It's, your subconscious. It's, receiving a fucking download from the ether if we're going to get crazy. And like, it could be you going on a walk or you working and you get this like sudden stroke of inspiration and you're like, fuck, like this would be a great idea. Has anyone done this? And you know what? 9 times out of fucking 10, someone has done it, but that's totally fine. And, I don't think that people should stop themselves from doing something just because like the market is saturated or whatever. Or if you like find, you know, that you have a talent and you're like, wow, I would really love to do this. Like, let's say that you're really great at graphic design and you're like, damn, like I could make these for businesses.
Yeah.
Yes, the fuck you can.
Yeah.
And
so many people downplay their skills, their talents, and their interests. And like, that's a great example. If you're someone who's like good at graphic design, why are you not on Fiverr being a freelance graphic designer? Why are you not on Canva making journals to sell on an Etsy store? Like we live in such a great time where there is the internet and so many opportunities at our literal fingertips. Really, all you have to have is the drive and the grit to kind of figure it out. But there's so many resources. A quick YouTube search and you can find out how to sell journals.
Yeah, and again, this isn't an episode to sit here and fucking bully you into thinking that you're not doing enough. It's really like, again, we just want to really emphasize like the mindset part of it, because that's what I think is to
inspire.
Yeah, it's just to inspire you and know that there's more for you out there.
Yeah. So like when looking at us as content creators and influencers, right? Like I was at a point where I looked at what I was making and it was all coming from Instagram. And I literally had a moment where I was like, this is not good. Let's try to diversify and, you know, kind of spread it out and kind of set it up in a way that's sustainable for me. So like for you, that could look like repurposing your content. You know, you don't have to be creating all new content, but like a start is a start and it's better than nothing. So for example, I sat down and I had wanted to create a YouTube channel for so long. During quarantine, I had the time to do that. And that is something that very much is not immediate gratification at all. I haven't even hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm close though, you know, but one day, hopefully, if YouTube is still doing its thing in 5 years, hopefully YouTube is a platform that I am making money on. Like that's the intention. Like To Know It is an affiliate program, and a lot of influencers utilize that as a stream of income because that's pretty passive in a sense where you can go to sleep and wake up and 20 people, you know, bought an item off of your affiliate code and you made commission off of that.
So there's also side hustles that, while they won't like necessarily, like they are the delayed gratification, they can still add value to like what you're currently doing.
Yeah. And it's a matter of patience. Cause I like, you know, when I first started my channel, like getting 7 views and 30 views on a channel is so discouraging. And, you know, also like when you already have a platform, you're like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want people
to
see this. No one cares. There's so much like self-doubt around it too. And people, you know, we're also scared of failure. And it's really about shutting that little voice up inside of you. Like literally when you hear it, you just tell it to shut the fuck up and mind its own business and just keep trekking on, because like everything, you know, you could be embarrassed by everything. You could think everything is cringy, but like it's not going to get you anywhere, and you have to just fucking go for it. And I know in 5 years, if YouTube is sending me $1,000 check every 2 weeks, I'm going to be happy that I said fuck it and went for it, you know? And same for like To Know It. I'm not making anything on that platform. And it's just one of those things that's like, you got to put your head down and grind. And, and after a few years, I hope that, you know, it pays off if I'm consistent with it.
So, you know, like there's ones that are like entirely aligned with what you're doing and are like kind of like more easy side hustles or like add-ons like that make the most sense. Like, you know, the Like To Know It, like, you know, going into Pinterest.
Where it supplements something you're already doing.
But for me, like one of the main side hustles that I had over the last few years was a vintage home decor like shop, antique.
OG Brothers,
the Casa Experience, and we loved her. And
she was a moment.
Guys. And I am just so proud of like what I did for that. And I truly like loved it so much. And while it was a side hustle, I wasn't making an ideal amount of money on it. Like it was definitely way more a passion project. And although it didn't necessarily like go anywhere, I was like, I don't like look at that side hustle for me as a failure by any means. Like I did it. I was so happy with it. Like I really loved building the brand. I think I built like a really amazing little community over there. I loved like how I did things. Like I think I really did it really well. And if anything, I got a ton of like experience from that, like with building an entire brand for a business and building it out. And like, I still have a bunch of fucking pieces for Casa. And it's because I put it on pause because it was becoming such a time investment that I just did not have for the money that I was making on it. So essentially it's still like on this like pause, and I would still love to do something with it later down the line. Like I still own the LLC, I still own the name, I still have pieces, I still have the Instagram. People still message, like I literally got a message about it like 2 days ago, someone asking if I had, a specific piece. So, like I don't regret starting that at all. And that's to say that like not everything that you do has to be like, like super fruitful or blow up or be like that main thing. But, it could open other opportunities, other doors. You could learn things from it. Like there's just so many reasons why it's, beneficial.
Yeah. You never know what can happen if you don't just like go, if you don't try. Yeah. And I love that you mentioned Casa, because I think for a lot of people, they could look at not that, we want to monetize everything and that, things that are hobbies or passions aren't good just for being hobbies and passions. But I think so many people could can leverage their passions and turn it into possibly another stream of income. For example, if you're an artist and you are constantly doodling, you could sell prints on Etsy. Like there's just a way.
If it's something that you would like love to, like people sell like prints or, like photos of like their dog, like you can people, like some people love drawing pets. And
my mom takes beautiful photos of the ocean every day, and I'm like, you could literally put these on a website, and there's so many websites that kind of make it easy for you where you don't have to like find a provider and find a distributor where they're like the middleman. So I'm trying to tell her like you could put these online and people could make prints and you like get them printed and put them in their living room.
Yeah.
So there's really like you can look at the things that you enjoy doing and see if there's a way to possibly make it an income stream.
Or even things that you kind of like already have. Because like for, in your mom's instance, like she already has all these images. And
it's just a matter of uploading it on a platform that probably already exists. She wouldn't have to create it from scratch, and it's for her, I'm seeing it. It's a self-limiting belief, or it's lack of maybe the energy to the mental energy to like make it happen. But it's so much less, there's so many less barriers to entry than you would think. You know what I mean? You kind of just have to, it's one of those things where it's like you get analysis process and you just go do the next step, and then it'll lead to, the finished product. And then there you go, you have it.
It's harder to sit there and think about doing it than it is to actually
do it.
And that goes with so many things, including my own dishes. Because even shit like that, I'm like, fuck, there's so many dishes. But it's like sitting there and having anxiety about like things that you're not doing is so much more paralyzing than actually just doing it.
Truly is. And throughout the years, like we definitely both have, our multiple streams now, but throughout the years, I'm like always thinking about it. And there's ones that I really have thought about to the point where like, I've written it down. I've talked to Jess about it. I'm like, oh, I want to look into this.
Run it by like friends, family.
Bounce it off of people, see what they think about it. So I feel like it would be helpful for you guys to get ideas. There's also so many YouTube videos and TikTok videos. Like you can do a quick search of like ideas for income streams. And there's a bunch of things that you've never even heard about that you can do online.
Making children's books and shit like that.
Yeah. Or like doing surveys even. Like I see that a lot where people are like $20 a survey or whatever it is. Or you can be like, there's like you can be an Amazon call center assistant from home. There's a lot of stuff you can do from home just from the luxury of having Wi-Fi. But I feel like it would be helpful to share this list. One, I think being a virtual assistant is fire and definitely something that if you have a few hours to spare throughout the week, you could offer if you feel like that's a good fit for you. If you're, timely and on it and understand technology and understand scheduling. I feel like I would kill being a virtual assistant.
Hell yeah.
Like if I wasn't doing what I was doing now, or, if we were looking at me maybe 5 to 10 years ago, I would definitely consider doing that. Virtual assistant, I would consider even Instacart because it's like kind of mindless work. Like you're definitely out there like doing the work. You're not in the luxury of your home, but they make good money. And it's like, you don't have to have any sort of degree or certification. Like you just need a car and time, and that there's another income stream.
And you can really make it enjoyable for yourself. You know, like you can like play music, be in your own little fucking
You could
world.
listen to a podcast while you're shopping for other people and making money.
Sure.
That's what I would do. I would put in my AirPods and just fucking learn while I was making money.
And dude, honestly, doing like mindless things is
kind of
so nice. Like it's like a meditative state.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're doing dishes and you kind of just turn off your brain and go on autopilot, like I love that shit.
Yeah, we don't get enough of that. Even Uber Eats. Tyler did Uber Eats for a few years. Like when he was in college, I would just go on runs with him and we would go do our thing. We'd ended up with free food most of the time because if you can't find the damn place, they just like tell you to keep it.
Benefits.
Right. An Etsy store. I thought so many times about maybe selling digital products like templates for a media kit or website templates. You know, people make a killing off that. So Etsy in general, because it doesn't only have to be physical stuff, it can be digital products.
Yeah, and I mean, even it could be like physical things. Like so a lot of people do like customization. So imagine you're buying, you know, bags in bulk, and then you're just like customizing them from home with like, you know, a low investment customizing sewing machine or whatever, like
or crickets. Like people buy a cricket machine and then make tumblers. I see that on TikTok all the time. I'm like, I'm ready to start a Tumblr business. I've watched so many TikToks about it. Affiliate marketing is a great. You don't even have to be an influencer to do affiliate marketing. If you constantly shop on Amazon, make an Amazon storefront and share it with your family friends. Boom, you get commission off of whatever they buy. You know, so many of these things I feel like. They sound so scary, but they're not. It's just a matter of doing a few steps online, signing up, learning how to make a storefront, and then it's there.
Dude, I mean, even like I have a girlfriend who created templates like those icon templates with like when the phone allowed you to like upgrade and then you could like customize everything. She like sold the templates for it, and like she's not an influencer or anything, but like she was like pushing them, and like all she was selling was a like PDF. Like she like wasn't doing anything, and just people would receive a downloadable PDF. Like that's passive income. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've thought of making like a PDF worksheet about so many things, about how to make a viral TikTok or a reel, how to, you know, negotiate. Like you have a lot of knowledge and skills. Even my sister, she's like a professional food stylist. I'm like, you could make a course teaching other people how to be a food stylist. Yeah. There's platforms that are like Coursable.com where they make the course for you. You just input the information in their template. Like, you guys, I want to like do it for all my friends and families. Like, right? I just want to do it for you because it's like they don't believe that it's possible, and it is so possible. Courses are a great thing to consider. Not that there's, you know, some might think it's an oversaturated market. We have considered courses multiple times throughout the past, 5 years about making a podcast, being an influencer,
being a model,
starting an OnlyFans. Like, we have thought about it so many times. We just unfortunately don't have the bandwidth to add yet another project to our plate. But courses are a great...
We say as we're potentially diving into a new business.
Yes. But yeah, I think you don't realize that what the knowledge you have is valuable, whatever it is, even if it's a 9 to 5, even if it's a normal job.
Exactly. And it's so okay to like have multiple income streams, like multiple. Like, let's say you started like 3, like 1 you're doing Instacart, 1 you're doing Fiverr, and then 1 you're doing like TaskRabbit, whatever it is. And then dropping one as one becomes more successful. Like, that's what this is about. Yeah, that's what this is about. And like, that doesn't mean that you were a failure at one. That just means that you became really successful at the other. And like, that's how I feel about like Casa. Like, I started Casa because I was passionate about it and I loved it. And although it like wasn't what was making me the most money, like I was so fortunate to have something that was like taking my time away from that. You know what I mean? So like, that's the idea. You want something that is more fruitful for you.
Yeah, and that brings up a great point about this concept that actually I originally heard on Bigger Pockets, but it's a term that we've used throughout the years, is trying to, there's a balance between getting excited with all these opportunities and wanting to pursue things and like actually going for it instead of just talking about it. Like, there's a lot of power in that, but there's also power in acknowledging when you're building these halfway bridges and not completing any of them and not getting to the other side of any of them. Because, you know, you hear about these new opportunities and everything looks so shiny and new and the grass is always greener on the other side. But it's like you have to also take a very unbiased approach and like look at what you have already going on and making sure that you're not just like starting a new thing every month. And I think once you get to a point, actually, we had a really great conversation on one of our episodes. I can't remember what guest it was, but I think it was actually about courses. And it's like, the time to start a new one is once you've already either like completed, like you're already making income from that original one or first one, and then to look to do another one, or when you've really assessed that it's not working and you need to pivot. But to be constantly doing like, you know, 50%, 50%, 50%, or that doesn't add up to 100. I guess I should do 100. Yeah. You get my point. You don't want to put 20% into 5 different things because it's just going to be a lot slower of a growth. I mean, live your truth. But it's something to keep in mind is not building these halfway across bridges and never actually getting over to the other side on any of them.
Yeah, simply because you're getting distracted by the next new shiny thing. When it's like, yeah, you have to just be really objective, like with yourself, and make sure that you're not, you know, overextending yourself and, you know, taking time and energy away from something that could be really lucrative for you.
Yeah. And it definitely, I don't want us saying like, you know, that there's so many things out there and so many opportunities. While there is, you should consider each and every option and think about how you could best leverage it with your time, energy, money, skills. Like it's definitely, you want to critically think about anything that you're gonna, you know, want to pursue.
Yeah. And shit, like guys, it could be like really like think outside the box for yourselves. Do you have a cute fucking dog? Time to capitalize on the dog.
Make it its own Instagram page and get brand sponsors for the damn dog.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you enjoy taking pictures of your fucking dog, you can monetize it. Like,
it's crazy. You can monetize anything these days, y'all. I swear to you could, if you like eating, start filming yourself eating, mukbang, and make a channel about mukbang and get brand sponsors for eating food.
And that's not to say that it's like easy. Because like, of course, like let's say that you were to start a fucking Instagram for your dog. Like it's going to take time from you. Like you need to like network the community. You need to network with brands.
Yeah.
Like,
and learn, you know, how to be a content creator ultimately.
Of course. But you know, like that's not to say that you just shouldn't like start. I think that just starting and learning and like failing and starting again and like not in like different things, but like in those, you know, in these little moments, like let's say like it's not doing well, like learning how to create better content. So just taking that initial first step and then really just letting that take you wherever your journey is destined to go. Like you really never know what doors could open up. Like you could, so like my friend, not to like go on a tangent, but my friend Matt, who owns We Rate Dogs,
we had him on the podcast.
Incredible story, guys. Like, and it like anyone could have done it. Like he was rating dogs, like giving dogs 13 out of 10. And now he works with like Disney and like hosts the fucking dog shows and shit.
He has built an empire.
A dog empire. Living the fucking dream, dude. So start taking pictures of your dog and rating him.
So if you're not already familiar with these platforms like Fiverr, like TaskRabbit, I'm sure there's probably 500 more.
Even Upwork.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's probably blog posts about the best platforms to use for freelancers,
for side hustles.
Yeah, and even Fiverr has so much stuff, and they're adding new things every day. But like we found our podcast editor on Fiverr. If you're good at editing videos, go on Fiverr. There's
a lawyer on Fiverr. We've talked about this.
We found a lawyer on Fiverr. So like that's why also it's important to look at your skill set and like what can you offer outside of what you're already doing full time.
Or even like if you are a lawyer and you know you're not making enough in your 9 to 5.
That's what I'm saying. Go be a freelancer on Fiverr, and that's another stream of income where you're already utilizing your skill set that you already have. Yeah. You're just giving yourself another opportunity to make money from it in a different way.
And then you could start making more money there, and then you can quit working for douchebag.
There's so many opportunities out there. We truly hope this episode has inspired you guys. If you've been having that self-doubt, if you've been thinking about doing something for a while but haven't pulled the trigger on it, freaking go for it. I hope this episode has inspired you to do it because you're worth it. You're worthy of financial freedom. You're worthy of running your own business or your own side hustles, whatever it is. Like it's there and it's up to you if you're going to take it or not.
Period.
We love you guys. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to let us know. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. Let us know that you loved it. Write a review. Share it with a friend. And
you guys have been honestly killing it with like sharing on Instagram, like giving us the sweet reviews. Like it really means so much to us, and like just helps us show up here every single week and just be happy that we're here and able to provide these conversations.
Yes.
Let us know how you guys are liking the solo season.
Yes.
I feel like we've been getting some pretty good feedback. It is difficult to do, like, because it's so much easier when you have a guest and like they're carrying the conversation.
And they're the ones bringing the value. We get to be lazy and just be nosy and ask questions.
Yeah, and just be like, yeah,
totally,
for sure. Like just agreeing. No, I'm kidding. But these require a lot more like energy and bandwidth on our end. But you know, like that's the sacrifice we're making for you guys.
Let us know if you enjoy it and if it's worth it.
Yeah. And if you guys want to hear us expand on anything, talk on anything, we could use the help.
Yes.
So let us know.
Give us ideas and we are happy to deep dive into them. We love you guys so much. Have a kick-ass week and we'll see you next week for another one.
Bye guys.
Bye.